he was supposed to be the next Pele. That gentleman, who was so talented to the extent that World Pele declared him his successor. He's got an incredible story to tell. A story that is so inspiring. And if there's a platform for that inspiring story to be told, it is here on Prime Take with me, Nabila Abdullahi, a former Black Stars international, a coach. He runs an academy. I don't want to mention the name. If I mention the name, you'll have an idea who I'm talking to. I'm speaking to Nii Odartey Lamptey. Nii, thanks very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
I can't complain.
So how has life been in recent times?
Not bad. I mean, no matter what, you face challenges in life, but I mean, I can say that I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine.
Tell us about your journey, how you started and all that.
Well, with football, I think it all started Accra here, somewhere in Pig Farm. But as I said, at that tender age, I think that talent in me, but me myself, I didn't know. But then, at the age of 12, 13, there was even 2 clubs that were fighting over me. That was Great Farkos and Mohammedans. I was playing for Farkos, but I was so tiny,
yes.
So I was not fitting to the team, and I was not having playing time. So there was a new club that came up, that was Great Mohammedans, and then they came for me. So immediately I went to join them, and then during registration time at AMA, and I quite remember those 2 clubs were fighting. Everybody wanted me to register for him. I mean, the fight, that was the first time for me to see such a thing. I mean, Mohammedans wanted me to register for them. Actually, I think all their senior players they can't play again.
Oh, okay.
So they were going to rely on me. And then I've moved to other clubs. And the other clubs too said, no, I have to register for them. It was a big fight, throwing bottles and all that. So,
really?
Yes, at the end of the day, I did not register for any club. There was a policeman who escorted me home. And then when my mom saw me and the policeman, she was just scared. And then
she was wondering what my son is doing with the police officer.
Yes. And then, well, the policeman said, no, she shouldn't worry. And then he narrated the story to her. And then, you know, as usual, as mother, she was nervous. Oh, I can't take care of you again. No, you have to go to your father. At that time, she asked my father to do, we're not together. My father was in Kumasi.
Oh, okay.
That's why I end up.
So you grew up in 2 cities, right?
Yes.
Accra and Kumasi. Kumasi where?
Abu Abu. Basically, I grew up in Abu Abu because that's where my father was, in Abu Abu #1. And then I think there, and then football as well. I went to join a club called Kalim Stars. And then that's where everything started, from Kalim Stars, and then, well, Connors under 20. Just like 4 games, then I was invited into the junior under 17 national team.
So you speak Hausa?
Oh.
Because
I speak Hausa more than all the language that I speak.
Oh, really?
It's my favorite language, yes.
Wow. I think the people of Ababu will be excited to hear that because there are many people who hardly live you with Ababu.
I speak Hausa very, very well.
So from moving to the cornerstones under 20 all the way to the national team, how were you called up to the national team?
I think it was our, you know, those days, you play curtain raiser. Yes. That's the under 20, yes. And then the senior team will come and play. Yes, so I think it was Accra, Great Olympics, and Kumasi Cornerstones, because I was playing for the junior team. Actually, after the course, I went to Kotoko, under 20. By that time, they have too many materials as well. Joe Debra, Michael Osei, you can Prince Polly and co. I said, no, this.
So you couldn't fit in?
No. Ain't possible. And the Kalumsa's owner is the big supporter of Kotoko.
Oh, okay.
So he wanted me to play for Kotoko.
Oh, okay.
I mean, too, when I watched it, there's no way I would get a chance to play. So I diverted. So we became a fight between me and him because we were staying at the same place.
Then your career has been full of fights.
It became a fight between me and him. We were not talking to each other, but we were staying at the same place. Well, so after that match, and then I mean the officials of the under 17, they entered into the dressing room and then they mentioned Odartey way, and then everybody pointed fingers at me, and then he said, well, on Monday I should report to camp. I'm invited into the junior national team. To be honest with you, I don't know what is that. I was so young, 13, 14, I don't know what is that. So until later when I reported at Winneba, then I started, oh, this is national team, and then
this is where we come.
Yes, this is where you have to be. You have to play qualifiers and then to all that, and then it all started like that.
Which coach was in charge?
It was Okwai.
Oh, okay.
Okwai.
Oh,
and then Coach Afrani also came. But then I think at the first time after Okwai, they employ a Brazilian coach, Coach Campos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so together with him, and then so we were in Scotland with Okwai, and that was our first tournament in Scotland.
Just tell us briefly, what was the reaction of your parents when you were called?
I mean, it's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up without a parent. Let me say like that. I think not to disrespect them, but then you know, in Accra here, as I was talking, those times when you go and play football and come, you know the way you'll be punished.
Yes.
So sometimes I'll be scared to even come home. Sometimes I'll go and train at Avino. That's where Facos train.
Yeah.
And then I'll walk from Avino to maybe Pig Farm. And when I get to me to be late, I did not help all my siblings that were help because it was a family house.
Yes.
My mother's sisters and sons, they were there, they will help. And then I'll help when I come home. So I'll be even scared to come home because if I come, I know what will happen to me. So sometimes I have to even sleep under cars or kiosks till daybreak. When they go to work before I'll enter the house. No, it was
Then how
terrible.
are you feeding? Then how are you eating?
Well, sometimes I just go and come. What if I have something small, then I'll buy food. I mean, those times, I mean, food was not like today. I mean, I can get something to buy something on the road. It can take me to. So, no, it was really a struggle. And then from there to when my mother sent me to Kumasi too, it was also the same. I went to meet a stepmother, you know, and it was terrible. I mean, everything that I do was not enough. She would be complaining bitterly to my father, I don't do this. My father would be beating me. So I end up leaving the house because it became a time that my father has to decide between me and her. Because if, other than that, maybe she have to go. So my father ended up saying that I should come back to Accra, which I did not want to come. So I went to complain to Calmsters that this is a situation. My father want me to go back to Accra. And then they said, okay, if it's so, then I should come and stay with them. So I ended up leaving my house and their place, and then go and live with the Calmsters club officials.
When you look back at those years and now, what is the reaction? How do you feel?
Well, for me, I think it has toughened me. I mean, it has made me who I am, a tough person now. But I wouldn't allow my son to go through what I went through. It was a bad experience, but I think at that time it was something that not only me, I mean a lot of former footballers will tell you that they went through similar situations. So I think it was something that was there. But as I said, not to blame them, but then I think it
could have been better. That
was the situation at that time.
And you went to the national team, all of a sudden to the under 17, and the next Pele came up.
Yes, I think it was our tournament in Scotland. I mean, when we went to the World Cup, our first match, it was against the host nation, and you know, and I think he was there. I mean, I didn't know. To be honest, I didn't know who was Pele. I've never seen him playing before.
You never even heard of
no.
Pele.
So I was just a baby at that time, 14 years. And then after our first match, and then we were just 0-0. I was just working on it. Then I heard on noise, you know, they were shouting. I mean, Nii Odartey Lamptey, I think they chose me as man of the match. Right. So they came and, you know, taking me through the sideline to receive my award, and then he said that I was going to step in his shoe. I don't know who is that. I don't know who was Pele until maybe after the tournament even I became a professional, then I got to know who was Pele.
Oh, really?
Yes, because at that time when they was, because the news was spreading.
Yes.
Even from the tournament when we came back, and then I became a professional. I went to Belgium. The news was trending. They said it's going to be so. Then I start to follow who was Pele. Then I got a lot of video cassette. Then because I was so young, I was not watching him live playing. I've never seen him live playing. So the name was a good one for me. I think I like it. It was 50-50. It was a heavy name to carry. I mean, everywhere you go, people expect you to play like Pele. Which is impossible. It's impossible. But I thank God that that tag was given to.
If you just joined us, we are having a conversation with Nii Odartey Lamptey. He's been telling us his story of how he started and how he slept under cars. Like I mentioned earlier, he's got an inspirational story that you would marvel. And if there's a platform to talk about that story, yeah, it is on Prime Take. And we're at the point where we're moving to his professional level, and that was after the U17 World Cup in Scotland. You have spoken about the name Pele that was given to you because Pele had said that you were next to step on his shoes. But like you mentioned, this was a man you didn't know anything about him. So how did his name weigh on you and did not push you to the limit that your potential could have taken you?
Well, as I said, I mean, the name was 50-50. I mean, it's a blessing for such a player to say that I was going to step in the shoe because, I mean, there was thousands of players at my era.
Yeah.
I mean, for him to come out to say that I was going to step in the shoe, it means that there's something that he has seen in me. Yes, I mean, I always say that in life there are certain things that happen we all don't answer to that. Maybe people were expecting after him saying that I should have ended up playing for Barcelona, Real Madrid, or AC Milan, but well, it did not happen like that. But I thank God for whatever achievement I've achieved in football. I thank God for that. But that name was a big load. I mean, I quite remember one time when I was going to Villa sign me, and I just got up from.
You mean Aston Villa?
Aston Villa.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got up from airport. They took me to the hotel, and as soon as I put off my TV, I mean, sports news. The first thing they mentioned was Villa has brought somebody that is going to be the next Pele. Can you imagine the pressure? I have never trained. Hey, I started. I'm in my head. So wow. But then, well, as I said, it was a privilege. But then it was very, very difficult to carry that name.
Did it affect you in a way?
No, I won't say it really affected me. Later, I got to know the kind of player Pele was. There's no way, me personally, maybe that's what he saw of me that he said. And me personally, for what I saw, watch him, what he did in football, I don't think I get close to him.
But he thought you could.
Yes, but then as I said, I mean, well, I started very well. In life, you started things very well, but then later you go through challenges that, as I said, all of us will not be able to answer the reason why these challenges were coming.
Do you think you could have done better?
Well, there was some decision I made in life that I regret. I mean, of course, if it was now, I would have made a different, decision. But then, as I said, education was a big problem for me at that time because at that time I couldn't read, I couldn't write, so I was even signing a document that was affecting me at that time that I didn't know. That was one. And then clubs that maybe I changed at that time, maybe I could have made a right decision. Yeah. But then, as I said, sometimes you grow, you mature, then you learn out of it. Yes.
So footballing wise, the decisions were not the best decisions you took?
Yeah, some, not all. I think some decisions that I make, and some also not me personally, because of, as I said, the decisions that maybe people took for me. Yes. Really affected me, because at that time, as I said, if like I could have read and write, maybe those decisions would have happened. Maybe me personally would have taken a better decision.
How did you get to Europe in the first place that the decisions you took were not the best of the decisions?
In Europe, I mean, it all started with Stephen Keshi. I mean, when...
The late Stephen Keshi,
the late
Nigeria.
Stephen Keshi, may he so rest in peace. I mean, when Anderlecht were coming for me, you know, because he was playing for Anderlecht.
Yeah.
And then after the tournament in Scotland, I think a lot of scouts were there. So Anderlecht scouts were there. So immediately after the tournament, they have to send Keshi to come for me because they know we share border. So Keshi did not come. He sent his local agent. So there is the local agent who came. We were in Kanisha at that time. You know, Farmer Rollins said we should be in camp because we did okay. So we should be in camp.
Yes, I remember.
So we should. So we were in camp that we went to the next World Cup. That was in Scotland. But I became a professional because Anderlecht came for me. So it was Keshi who sent somebody to come for me. So when he came, I mean, there was misunderstanding at the camp. But luckily, the first thing he gave me was his card when he met me. So I saw Stephen Keshi, but at that time, I didn't make So he gave me a card and then he said this and this and that. And Stephen Keshi said he should come to his club, Belgium. So the officials of Under 17 saw him and talking to me, so they were annoyed.
They thought he was coming to steal you or what?
Yes.
Okay.
So, well, he left. But I was lucky I got the card.
The card.
So 2 weeks time, they said we should go for a holiday, we should go and race. So when I came, I narrated the story to Inji. I gave him the card and he said, I don't know anything that this is, you have to go to professional, you are going to travel, but I don't know anything about that. So he said, hey, don't spoil this chance, so you have to go. So I said, okay, how can I go? My passport is with the officials. Then he said, okay, we have to go to Nigeria because the card that he gave me is Nigeria card. So we went to the station, we spoke to the driver that this is the situation. I don't have a passport, but I want to go to Nigeria. And he said I should double the fare. So the guy
so that attitude has been there since the 90s.
So he did that. He did not go with me. So he did that. So
the Inje guy?
Yes. Let's say, Inje direct somebody to take me there.
Oh, okay.
His name is Osai. So we went to the station, all right. So it was a nightmare. I'm telling you. I mean, because everybody, I have to show a document that I'm going to
Nigeria.
No, I did not have. So this driver have to talk to them, maybe dash them. Maybe I have to stop 10 minutes. I'll have to walk and go and meet them. No. It was a nightmare. So we'll get to Lagos. I don't want anybody to go to that experience. And lucky, if God is going to open doors for you, there are so many ways.
Yes.
You know, and I went through that to get to Nigeria, all right. But when I arrived in Nigeria, I gave the card to a taxi driver straight to the man's house because it was easy.
He was famous?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So he took me to the man's house and then the man was not there. So it was his wife who paid the fare.
Oh, okay.
And then he called her husband. She called her husband that, you have a visitor. And he came immediately. When he came, then he hugged me. He was happy. Then he called Stephen Keshi.
Yes.
So I spoke to Keshi and Keshi said, are you Lamptey? Are you Lamptey? I said, yes. Are you sure? I said, yes. The next day he was also coming to Ghana because they were going to play qualifiers.
Oh, okay.
That was the match they played that Okwaraji died.
Oh, okay.
At the stadium.
Oh, okay.
I was in the stadium.
Oh, okay.
So the guy went to book hotel for me, Sulele Hotel. And then I slept there and then Stephen Keshi came. So when he came, the guy took me there. Oh, you see, all these things I didn't know. This guy was famous. A lot of people were going to him, coming to him from... I was sitting down with him like that, then he called two guys, they came and then they took me out, they took a picture of me. And then he gave them money and then they said I should go and rest. 2 hours later, they said I should bring me. I came and have a lunch with him. Then they came with the passport, Nigerian passport.
So you're in Nigeria? You still have that passport?
No. I mean, after the tournament, after the match, they have to go. You know the FIFA rules. After the match, you don't have to stay there. So we left. So they bought a ticket for me. So he informed Anderlecht that we are coming. So in the plane, at the airport, I mean, that's what I say. I mean, God is so wonderful. At the airport, nobody even asked me a word. Oga Stephen Keshi, he just put 2 of us our passport, and now you're picking me, and they will stamp you straight.
So you were
no, that man has done a lot for me.
You were typically speaking.
So, well, when we are close to arrival, then I called him, to be honest. I said, but this is not Ghanaian passport. And he said, yes. So he took me to the washroom and he said, okay. So he turned the passport.
So he destroyed it?
He destroyed it. So when we land at the airport, Belgium airport too, because he have already informed me.
Yeah.
And at that time, I'm talking about 15 August 1989. I don't know how many years now.
Wow.
If it was today, nobody can do that. You can't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Today, yeah, the system is quite technical.
Yes, yes. So the officials of Anderlecht came to the airport. They met me. I spent about an hour there. Documentary, blah 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 blah. Stephen Keshu were there. They were not even convinced I was the person because the scout also came there. But I think he saw me tiny. I mean, you know the stress I went through here to Nigeria. I was killing.
Yes.
So Kashi said he's Lamptey. But because I don't have any document to say that
you are Lamptey.
I'm Lamptey. So it was terrible. So they spoke to the immigration. Anderlecht is one of the best clubs in there. So they did everything possible. Mr. Michel, he just died a month ago.
Oh.
So after a month, after an hour, I have to go out. So they gave me a document. So the next day I went to Ghana embassy for them to give me a document to say that
you're Ghanaian.
Ghanaian, and then so for 3 months to allow me to be in the place for 3 months. And then after I took 2 days off, so my 3rd day I have to go to training and come and see. Everybody was there.
They wanted to see.
Everybody. It's not easy. But well, after maybe 30 minutes, it was confirmed I was the one. Yeah, so
talent can never be hidden.
That's it. So they were convinced I was the one after 30 minutes. So well, I was playing with my age group, Ayungan, that's what they call it, 14, 15 years. But then after 6 months, then I was promoted into the senior national team.
And then it started all the way from there.
Started. So I signed 5 years contract with Stephen Kashi. He stood by me. And then after the contract, then the officials of FA brought my passport back to Belgium.
Ghana FA finally brought your passport to there. Because
I'm sure it's Connors who brought it, the officials of Connors, because they have to come and take their money.
Yes. Okay. And
Kalum Stars as well. They all came, so it was a good news. So I signed 5 years contract. And then after 3 years, then my coach, Ademos, was sick. He went to PSV. Yeah. And then Romero was there. Then Barcelona came for him at that time. So he wants somebody to replace Romero. Then he came for me. So I ended up joining him in PSV.
PSV. That's your career trajectory. But you also mentioned about some decisions footballing wide that did not work out for you. So if you started so well at Anderlecht, what happened along the way that you made some wrong decisions in
let's say career? A place like PSV would have been a perfect place for me. Yes. Because after somebody who had replaced Romero was a top scorer over there. Yeah. And Barcelona came for him, and I think even me going to PSV was a problem. Anderlecht did not want me to go. I still have 2 years contract on my contract left. So it became argument between me and Anderlecht because I wanted to move. So I went there, I scored 14 goals. I think I was top scorer. Yeah. And of course, if you weigh the two, PSV was far better than me. So I wanted to stay. And I think, as I said, at that time, my manager, that was Caliendo, which I think my father gave him power at that time, to take care of me at that time. He gave him power to do everything. He took that decision that then I should go to England. So going to England at that time was a wrong decision. Very, very wrong decision.
So you regret play in the Premier League?
No regret, because I think I was the first Ghanaian to play there, which I'm very happy. But then at that time, my style of play does not suit England at that time. Because at that time it was hit and run, and I want the ball on my feet, and then before they would hit. So it was very difficult for me to stay there. So likewise the same. After a year, I was there with Ron Atkinson, and then after season, We were very good. We did very well. We went to Europe at that time. We have very good materials. And the Townsend was my playmate. Dwight York, Mark Bosnich, they were all my playmates. And then he was also sacked. He went to Coventry City. And then he came for me. So I joined him in Coventry. But as I said, England was a very difficult place for me to play at that time.
In terms of your inability to read and write, how did that affect you?
A lot. I quite remember even when I signed a contract in Villa. As I said, my father gave Kaliando that power to really, because he came down to Ghana.
But you left Ghana without your father, was your father aware that you were going to?
No. My parents did not know where I was. I signed my contract before they got to know where I was. And when I was in Belgium, my parents did not know where I was. Because it's just that, as I said, I did not know, that relationship was not there. Once in a while, then we talk to each other. So it was not anything that I supposed to tell them before going
before doing your stuff.
But it was when I signed my contract in Belgium after 3 years, then I decided to call home. Then they know where I was.
Where you were.
At that time. So it was Kaliando that I came after I signed a contract in Belgium. You know, Belgium, I was really making name at that time.
Yeah.
So he came. And then the agreement was he would take me to Italy in future, but he wanted me to sign for him. So at that time, he really paid me before signing for him. So he came down to Ghana. At that time, I was like 16 or 17.
So he wanted you to sign for him as a player under his agency?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
So at that time, he was one of the best managers. He was a manager of Baju, Skilachi, and all that. But then, as I said, later I got to know that I was playing football for him. He was making money behind me. And I got to know this when I was in Argentina.
So you were playing football?
Yes.
And the money was paid to him?
Yes.
This was when you were in England?
Yes. So what happened was, when I left Villa and I went to Coventry City, after the agreement, we signed everything, and then I went to training, and then Big Ron said, you won't come for your money. I said, what kind of money? I didn't know. The signing fee or whatever. I know every month they have to pay my salary. But then like sign-on fee and all that. So at that time, I think from PSV to Villa, that man has been taking it. So I said, okay. So I was in England, so I gave them my account in Villa. And then the next day, the man was sent into my account. A week later, Kaliando came. He was furious. He went there. He went to them that like he was coming for money, and then they said, the money has been given to the player. He said, no. There were some people involved. He came to my house. He showed me the document. He threw the document away, Master. It's not easy, but you see, all because I could not read and write at that time. But later,
for how many years? For how many years did you
let's say, if I'm not lying, maybe 4 to 5 years of my career. So in Argentina, when I was there, that I think something happened, of course, with my ex, that I think there's a baby who did not survive. So I stopped playing to take care of him, and then, so I could not register. I could not register because I went to Boca Juniors, but then they had 4 foreigners. I'm the 1-5, so they gave me to their other club, which is Unión de Leiria. So I was there that the baby, this issue came, so I stopped playing to take care of him. Because, you know, the Santa Fe is like in Nkoko. And then it was difficult. What happened, they have to take him to the capital because he was really sick. So I couldn't sign again, and then when the boy too couldn't survive, he died. And then I said, I still thought I still belonged to Anderlecht because I went on loan. I think I was going loan.
I mean, known to you, the contract had expired.
This guy has already bought my contract and he was earning money. I did not know. So it was when this thing happened, when I called Anderlecht, that I was coming back to Anderlecht because this is what happened. They said I don't belong to them. Kaliando has bought my rights.
Did you sue him?
Oh yeah. Did I what?
Did you sue him?
No. Oh, I don't know anything about sue. What is sue? I don't know. What happened was I called him. I called him because he gave me to somebody in Argentina to take care of him. So I called a guy. He came. I explained this to him. So he called Kaliando. Kaliando came. We met. Yeah, and he said he will be paying me until we find a club for him. I said, no, I won't do that. I want to end here. We should end. He said, no. He said he will be paying. I said, no. So after, I think 4 days, I just took a flight, then I came to...
You regret working with Kalyando, right?
Oh, yes. I not regret, because of course, I made some money, you know, because before he signed me, he have to pay me huge money before I signed for him. That's where I think.
So in other words, maybe you didn't know that he was paying you off so that you go and take the other money.
Yeah.
Oh, clearly. Then I get it now. Then you also made some good money, isn't it?
That's why I said I did not regret. Fine. Maybe what he was getting, maybe
more than what.
Yeah. But I did not. I'm okay.
Let's just wrap up your career and talk about your Black Stars days. What were they like?
It was nice. I mean, I really enjoyed playing for the national team. I mean, started with under 17. I think the first one was in Scotland, was a disaster. But then the second one in Italy, 1991, I think was super. I think I was the best player in that tournament. A dream come true. That's why I realized that whatever I was going through as a child, the punishment, the beating, has paid off. I mean, for you to be named as the world youth best player with all these stars at that tournament was like a dream come true. So from there, I think with the under 20, the same. I mean, first African country to win bronze medal in Barcelona, Olympics team. Was a very good one, and then Australia 93, the under 23 too, became second, and the senior national team too was very good. I mean, I don't regret that. First tournament was in Senegal 1992 when I went to I met the players like the likes of Pele, Tony Eboa, Frimpong Manso, Kwesi Appiah, Kofi Abre, Opokunti, Prince Pele. I mean, it was a solid squad. I always say that I don't know why we did not qualify to the World Cup at that time. I think that team was a solid one with Edward and Salifo and San. But we came second. I mean, that was my first tournament. And then Tunisia 1994 too. We didn't do well. And then 1996. So I played 3 Cup of Nations for Ghana. But then it was a successful, and I decided to call it off.
And having played with all these players, and you just mentioned one thing, I'll come to another thing. One interesting thing was that you had put your national team career on hold before, isn't it?
Before?
Yes, you like maybe in the course of playing for a national team, you decided, okay, the way Asamoah Gyan, Andrew Ayew and co got to a point and said, okay, we're going to concentrate on club career and all that. Did you do that?
No. I came out
to retire.
To say that I won't play again because of there are certain things that happened in, I think, South Africa 96, which I was not happy. But then later on, I was called again, which I honored the call. One was, may his soul rest in peace, Jones. Jones called me. At that time, it was, I think, all Accra House of Folk players. So he wanted me to join. I was in China at that time. And then Osam Dudu also called me to come. But I think all I was coming, and then maybe due to 1 or 2 reasons, they have to postpone the tournament. So I did not come, but then I honored the...
What got you to retire? What happened in 1996?
His pass and go. There were so many things that were happening in the camp which I was not happy about. I mean, we were all professional, but certain things were happening that it was sad.
Were you being bullied?
Not bullied per se, not bullied, no. At that time, I mean, I was supposed to be bullied 1991, 1992.
92, yeah.
But I mean, as I said, that was the players that I really even loved being with. But later on, there are certain things that happened that did not help the team.
Was it management? Was it management? That
no, not management. No management per se.
Internal fights among the team?
Yeah.
What were they?
That is gone. I've moved on. I've moved on.
No, I clearly understand that. I understand that we've moved on, but these things, it happened like what, 26 years ago? If 96 today will be 26 years ago. So if it is past, it's gone.
No, it's gone. You know, I'm sure it was You come, if you mention name now, it always trigger.
Oh no, you're not going to mention name. You're just telling the story what transpired.
No, it was so many decisions that were going on. Coach were been telling players that he's supposed to play, that he was not favoring us, which it was even the coach himself see you and then he will apologize. Nii, I'm sorry, but it's not his power and all that. So it was nice.
No, but what it means is that maybe the leadership of the FA were influencing.
No, I don't think this one. I don't think was the FA.
It was the players themselves who were deciding who should play.
I think so.
Who was the coach then?
Oh, and is this Holland coach? What's his name? I forgot his name. He was from Holland. And South Africa 96, he was a coach.
Was it around the time that many people claimed that some of the players within the national team were so powerful that they were dictating who should start in the national team?
You take me back. Oh. And that tournament was my first tournament, because since my career, I've never received a red card before. And that tournament was my first tournament that I received a card. We played against South Africa. I was so annoyed. I was not happy. I was on the bench. We were losing 3-0 and they brought me in. And I started doing my thing. And then I think the referee saw that I was going to cause a harm, and then, well, just a tackle, and then he decided to give me a red card. But I knew he knew what I was doing. Maybe I would cause a harm. And that was the only red card I've received.
So is it that disunity that affected the team from qualifying for the World Cup?
Well, I think, as I said, 1992 is the team that I thought we should have gone to the World Cup. When we messed up, we lost against Algeria. Yeah. I think the 2-1 at something like that. Yeah, but then afterwards, yes, we were doing okay. But for me personally, I think 1992 team that we should have qualified to the World Cup.
You regret not playing at the World Cup?
Yes, Senior World Cup, yes. I think I mean, of course, it's every player's dream to play in a World Cup. I thank God I was able to play at the junior level, and I won even best player of the tournament and best goal scorer as well. But the senior level was, yeah, a dream that, well, each player would love to do. Like now, what is happening now. So, yes, I regret, but then.
Which year did you retire?
96. I think my last match that I played for Ghana was a disaster.
I mean, your whole career. Your whole career.
Pardon?
Your whole career. Your whole career. Which year did you decide that you were going to hang your boots?
Did I even know? I think it's 2006. I think after playing for Kumasi and Asante Kotoko.
And tell us about that Asante Kotoko story.
That's Asante Kotoko. I mean, Kumasi also was like payback time. Yeah. I mean, because a lot of people helped me in Kumasi. When I went there, as the story I told at the beginning, a lot of people, and all these big guys were Kotoko fans, and even the person I mentioned, his name Inji.
Oh, okay.
He became a Kotoko CEO.
I remember.
And that's the time I went to show that respect.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But people don't know.
Oh, okay. I remember he took Kotoko to the Caladon Park. They were playing some league match, so there was a fight broke out.
He ran out. Yeah. Yes, that's true.
I remember that speech.
Yes. Yeah. So I came to play Kotoko just to pay back, and well.
Was it memorable?
Yes. I had no regret at all. I mean, I won 3 trophies for with Kotoko, the 2 FA Cup, President Cup, and then the League Cup that year. You know, so Zito was the coach, and then Coach Afrani came. You know, so it was a successful. At that time, I wanted to retire, but I was building this school.
Oh, okay.
And I did not want to just leave it like that, so I was going and then going and coming, because I was putting up this school. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the school pretty soon, but from that footballing career, you switched to coaching. Tell us the coaching story.
I mean, there's a lot I've learned in football. I mean, without a doubt, I mean, I have a lot of rich experience when it comes to football. And I got to know something because I did not have education at that early age. Yes. What I was doing in Germany was, when I was playing in Germany, I was doing attachment, coaching, race, bit by bit. And I did the same thing too in China when I was playing. So because I knew, no matter what, this is what I would love to do.
You would like to do it.
Yes, I put up this educational school, but I don't know. I can't teach. I wanted to pay back because of I did not have good education.
Yeah,
I don't want my kids to go through, that situation. That's why I decided to put up this educational school. But the coaching, football is what have made me who I am today. And I think I know I have to be in it. That's why I decided to switch into football, and then also setting up soccer academy.
Grolam Soccer Academy.
Yes, also is something that I have to coach the boys as well. So that's why I decided to do that as early as possible.
But you've coached 11 wives, isn't it?
Yeah. That's where I started. I mean, at that time, I think I remember early, as soon as I retired, and then they came for me. I think it was Kurt was there, and then Jamal, and then Charles Osesibe. It's Charles Osesibe who came here. He came to the school here. And I think Nanajman was there, and he was sacked. So Charles came that if I would love to do this, and I said, why not? What came to my mind was, I can't wait to be 60 to start coaching.
As you're waiting to be 60 to start coaching.
and that's what I said, then let me start now. And this is a good opportunity. And at that time, CK has finishing, I think his coaching course was going back to Germany.
Oh, okay. And
that night, he was going to Germany. So I called him here that he should come. So I told him that this is the story. Wise want me to come and coach them if he's willing to do that, because as I said, we can't wait to be 50, 60 before we come and start coaching. And he said, why not? So we arranged a meeting, myself, Ked, Jamal, and Edward Boatin at their office, and then we met, and then, and that's how it started. So they were confused. They said, then they did not know that I was coming with secret. So they were saying that, then who is going to
be the head?
And then I said they should leave that one for me. So,
CK was your very good friend, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you say very good friend, fine. We are playmates. But then, me in life, I choose certain word carefully. I mean, we were playmates, and then I think this opportunity that we all have to grab, so I decided to do that.
And then Grow Soccer Academy?
Yes, when we were in Wise, I think we started very well, but then later, football was coming down, so they decided that we should go. Actually, they wanted me to stay back, and I decided not to, because I brought CK. If you want him to, I said no, we all have to go. I don't want to be a betrayer. So once I was there, there were so many things that I was doing. So I put one and two together. I said then I can also put up my own club or my own team.
Were you investing in the team?
Not investing.
But there were petty bills you were taking care of.
That's it. Certain things that later then I'll have it. And
okay. Also, when you do, they
yes. Oh, of course.
Oh, okay. But it happens in every sphere.
So I was saying that then if you so, then I can have my own soccer academy. So the plan was to go and do it in because I also have a property land in Dodua. Oh, okay. But the way I wanted to do it was, the land there was not enough, so that's why I decided to
take it to Elmina.
And the Elmina, the reason why I got that place was when I was coaching Wise, there was a team there in Semkan United. It was a second division team, and we want to play a friendly match with them, and that's why I got to know the area, the environment. And such a thing when you are doing it, you need a place that is a bit isolated, a bit far from the town. And actually, it has been successful so far. I'm very, very happy.
Recently, we heard you were going into a partnership. How far with
that? Hopefully by January we should.
January 2023.
Yeah.
Whom are you partnering?
Now it's 2 clubs, so I'm yet to decide which one.
Are they in Ghana or they are in Europe?
They came last week, but they left. So we are yet. They are in Belgium.
They are all in Belgium. Your former clubs?
Actually, it's my former club should have been the fair. I gave them the opportunity. If you quite remember, I went there. I went to Belgium.
Yeah.
I sent the project to them. They were surprised to know that I owned it.
You have something.
They couldn't believe that I was the one who owned the academy. So we made an arrangement for them to come. And the time they were coming, that the COVID.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. I recall that.
So now the club has been sold.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah. Oh, okay.
The club has been sold. So it's not those that I know that own the club now.
Okay.
It's different people.
Oh, okay.
So I think the thing have shipped
to
different.
Have you produced some players from that academy?
Oh, a lot. I mean, for the academy, that's why I'm surprised now when it comes to maybe even the juvenile national team. I'm sure they should just give it out
to your academy.
No.
Like how many players have you been able to?
Oh, I mean, Kwame Kizito is my product.
Okay. Former House of Oak striker.
Yes. Bremen Foster.
Okay.
He was in Brekum Chelsea, then Legon City. Apia, Samuel Apia.
Okay.
Now he's with Kotoko. Dixon Afuakwa.
Bishop.
They are all my product. And then Muntari, who was naturalized for Qatar, going to play for.
Oh, really?
He's my product.
your fingerprints are everywhere. And I remember this guy too at Wafa.
That's it. Daniel is my product too. Daniel was in my place for 2 years. Kizito was 2 years. Muntari was 1 year. So they are all my product.
Your fingerprints are everywhere. But isn't it quite surprising that you've not been given any of the junior national teams to manage?
Well, I think God's time is the best.
But are you ready for it?
Oh, I mean, why not? I mean, 100%. My doors are open. 100%. 100%. Because even now, if I sit down and see what is happening with our youth football, it saddens me. But then, as I said, God's time is the best.
God's time is the best. Within that coaching space, you worked with Elmina Sharks. What influenced your decision to accept that job?
One was, I respect Dr. Elok, and I really respect him for what he has done in Ghana football. I think it's now that maybe Kotoko and Has are emulating what he has done. I think he was the first person to put out a facility. So I respect him for that. So when the opportunity came, he called me and he said if I'm willing to help the situation, because at that time they were in a bad situation. They have to avoid a relegation. And two, because I was close to him. And my academy is very, very close to him. So I said, okay, why not? I will be able to do that. So I even switched everything. So they were using my facility. That's where the team were training and everything. Yeah. So it was a good experience. I did not see anything because I've already been with Wise. Yeah. It wasn't any problem. So it was a good one. But I thank God that we were able to survive, because if the team would have gone relegation, it would have been a disaster. But I was very happy that not to beat any club to survive was Kumasi Asante Kotoko, my own team.
your former team.
Yes.
And if it was a good experience, why did you leave?
Well, the decision came to. Actually, the decision was for me to help them to survive.
Yes.
Not to continue.
Oh, okay.
It was later on that decision was coming for me to continue, but then at that time I've already made my decision not to continue.
But you played a couple of matches.
Yeah, like 4 matches before the.
Then many would have expected you to continue.
No, at that time I think they were looking for somebody to come in, but they didn't have the right person to take the job. That's why.
So you were hanging on for them to bring the person.
Yeah.
And then were you doing free bono job or something? Was it free bono?
No, it wasn't. I mean, of course, I've been paid. But then, as I said, that decision for me to be able to step down for somebody to came way back when the league stopped. But as I said, because you see, that club need somebody who knows a lot, because the way the man have
as in football,
the way the man have invested in the club needs somebody who knows football a lot. So if you don't have that kind of people around you, it will be difficult.
Elmina Sharks don't have that.
Well, I think they are trying to. They are trying to. Yeah.
I understand your language. Lee, let's wrap up pretty quick. I'm going to the FIFA World Cup, 2022 FIFA World Cup. We're in a group, Uruguay, South Korea, and Portugal. What do you think we can do at this World Cup, Nii?
Well, I always say that when the draw came out and I saw the group we are in, personally I wasn't happy. It saddens me because I thought I would have preferred to be in a group that we hadn't played with them at the World Cup before. Yes, the reason is, I mean, football has totally grown now, and I look at Portugal now. I mean, they've grown. So playing with them again at the second time at the World Cup is going to be a problem for us. Likewise, Uruguay. Korea.
We have not grown.
We haven't grown, but I think we have materials that yes, we can grow. You see, I think the boys that I've seen in camp now, the 30-man squad that to the technical team, excellent. Uto, Boateng, Didi, and Co. Excellent. Yes, the problem is young squad having played a competition, because I can say maybe 10 of them have been in maybe Cup of Nations before. None of them have been together in a competition before. That's where my problem is. And playing with such a country that are very experienced, both Uruguay and Portugal, for me it's a problem. But I pray that we should cross the group stage.
But do we have the quality to cross the group stage?
I mean, we have players that we can. As I said, my only question mark is the team that we are facing. If like we are playing with other countries that I don't know, we have not played before, I'm sure we should have. But with this one, for me, I have question mark.
You have question marks as in we can do well in this tournament?
Yes.
Why? I'm still not excited. Because there are people who are very confident that we can get to the semi-final. Others also say we can even make it to the final. We can cause an upset. You are not too optimistic.
I'm fine. I'm a Ghanaian. I would love us to even win the World Cup. But
we lack experience.
I'm talking football in general, because you all know what we did, Ghana and Uruguay. What happened?
Yeah, in 2010.
Saw it. And you saw what happened in Ghana and Portugal.
2014.
Mm-hmm. So do you think when you are going to play against people again?
This is the time you should rather be motivated to go for revenge.
So if you are going for revenge, then they too are coming to do what?
For repeat.
So it's...
As Roger says, you spoke about going to the World Cup. If you were the coach, would you have taken him to the World Cup?
Well, I think that decision, that I always, as personally, I said that it's up to the coach, but then I'm not the coach. If I'm the coach, well, I will sit down with him 1 against 1, listen to what he will say. If it will benefit the club, why not? But then, if that one is not going to benefit, and then I'll take him as a special person to help the club, 100% I'll take him. Because, I mean... what can you take away from?
It means that he can be taken to the tournament in a different capacity and not as a...
That's it. 100%. And this is what we are not doing. I won't say Africa, but let's say Ghana. These are the things that we are not doing. We wait, because this is a time, even now that is 50 is retired, is not retired, this is a time we have to give him that respect. So that even if we take him, even the strikers, we should let him polish the strikers. Polish the strikers every morning. Give him a timetable.
Everyone, we should give us a timetable, and he will polish our strikers at the FIFA World Cup. Nii Odartey Lamptey, my guest on Prime Take, speaking to us extensively on so many things. Maybe he was not willing to touch on a lot, especially that 1996 story. But you have lots of regrets of that 1996 story, isn't it? Lots of regrets. Because for you to have actually decided you were going to retire, it says a lot that you were not happy.
No, it was painful. It was really painful what was happening in camp, what was happening at that time. But as I said, was a professional at that time. I think at that time I was playing in Coventry. You left your club, you leave your club and come, and then all this will happen.
Were you always the target that let's bench Odartey Lamptey and
I think so. I think so.
And okay, then I get it. Then that was what got you disappointed to actually decide that you were not going to play for the national team again. And then why were you targeted if the coach was the one extending the calls to you?
Well, I don't know. That's why I say these are things that is God. Later, I got to know so many things, and
like
I've moved on. You won't get me. You won't get me.
Nii Odartey Lamptey, my guest on Prime Take. Continue to enjoy the rest of our programs. I'm Nabila Abdullah.